Hello everyone. On behalf of SATCOM, I'd like to thank all of you for your patience. And what I'd like to say is the development of the gaining access to your securities and gaining a little bit of freedom from the system. What we have done is we have been doing the research, been testing out parts of the system just to make sure that we are giving you guys the correct access and the correct information. There is a lot of conversation out there, a lot of people with their suggestions telling you, you need to do this, you need to do that, you should do this, you better do that. I had a gentleman contact me telling me that he and his wife had tried to file a UCC in the state of, I believe it was Ohio. Not sure, don't remember. But his problem was, they said that basically it was worthless and that they weren't going to file it. And they sent it back to him without comment, without concern. Well, I thought he was one of our so-called birth certificate people whom we've instructed as to how to properly file a UCC financing one statement. Well, it turns out that he wasn't. I thought that he was one of you contacted me because he was saying the information we gave him was incorrect. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the only reason why I decided to take the time to give him a call, because I assumed he was one of you. There's a lot of people out there who want us to tell them our process, and they want us to give them the steps that we're taking on our side. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't give you all the details, but that's what this video is for, to let you know what the process is and what you're required to do. Technically, you don't have to file this document in the county that you're in. You don't have to do the UCC in the state that you're in. You don't have to even do the UCC in the county that you're in. Yes, you can file a UCC in your county. You have to look up the rules for your county because rules may differ from one county to the next, not by a lot, and some are so simple, but others are extremely complicated. Give me 1 second, if you all don't mind. I apologize. There was a number flashing on the screen on my email, and it was coming through to the telephone, but I've sent that message directly to voicemail, blocking the number. What's happening is the individual is calling looking for some person and saying if I know their whereabouts, if I can contact them and communicate with them. Excuse me, first, I'm not under obligation to tell you where somebody is. That's the first thing. Second, I don't even know the woman they're talking about. Okay? But they got my email address and they got my SATCOM phone number. Ladies and gentlemen, not SATCOM, but Eeon phone number. It is irritating. But let's get back to the birth certificate and what the process is. Ladies and gentlemen, SATCOM is providing a service whereby we document your attaining the age of majority. And we also take and we send a letter to the Department of Defense because we need to document that you're not an employee of the Department of Defense. They then send us a letter letting us know that they do not keep records on private citizens. Now, please understand that right there. By the fact they call you a private citizen, private citizens are not U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens cannot be private citizens. U.S. citizens are public citizens. Okay? They are not private citizens, so they let us know that we are private citizens and they don't have any records on us. So we get that letter, we send that letter to you. Then, after we do this, we take your document and we send it, well, while we're doing this, we take your document and we send it to be notarized and filed on the county record within a county of one of the 13 original colonies. And after having your document filed on that county record, which they have agreed to file our documents without giving us any headaches, any problems, we take and we send you back an original and plus another original copy, plus we keep a copy for our records. Now, what we're working on is there is a process by which we can obtain QSIT numbers. However, sorry, give me 1 second to find out who this is that's calling. 1 second. Okay, I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. As I was saying, basically, after we take and we file your document, we send a copy to you, 2 copies, and we retain a copy. We retain a copy for our record. What we're doing is we're acquiring the status to be able to acquire QSIT numbers. We're going to acquire 2 QSIT numbers for your security. Remember, Securities Acquisition Trust Commission. We are securing your trust. A lot of you, I know you don't understand exactly what we're doing, and I'm sorry, but we cannot explain to you the details of what we're doing. Just understand that a QSIT number is used so that you can monetize, negotiate, trade items over the market. Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing that for your benefit. However, because SATCOM has what's called proprietary information that's in-house only, we can't explain to you why we're doing it the way we're doing it. We've had several people in the past take our process, utilize SATCOM to sell our process to other people and act as middleman and overcharge people. Ladies and gentlemen, we are trying to keep the price as minimum as we possibly can. And you'll see in a minute, thus far, what we have done is we've given you something that other people are charging over $3,000 for, and we're giving it to you for a lot less than $1,000. But we're not even finished with that yet. Okay? Then we take, at the same time, and we do a uniform commercial code financial one financing statement. It's called a UCC1 financial form. Okay? We do that, plus we do an addendum. And we don't do it just for you, we do it for all of the birth certificates in our portfolio. And then eventually we're going to do it for each individual one, securitizing the interest on behalf of yourself and on behalf of SATCOM, because SATCOM, because of its structure, will be doing that for you. Ladies and gentlemen, that right there is not to gain control of your securities. As I gave you my word, SATCOM is not here to take anything from anybody. I just had somebody offer me, she wanted help with a case where she received from the court a $1 million judgment against one person and a $1.5 million judgment against another person. And she was asking for my help to get the judgment satisfied. And I told her I knew somebody who could help her, and I worked out an arrangement where she will surrender 10%, not 30% like lawyers normally charge, and this is a lawyer. And so she agreed to 10%. She wanted to give more. I said, no, 10% is more than enough, because the person is not doing 30% worth of work. Okay, but 10% seems reasonable, doesn't it? She agreed. So if he helps her and if they are successful, he gets $100,000 for his time. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a win-win, ain't it? But she's getting 1.some million. And she should be giving up. Ladies and gentlemen, that's that greedy way of thinking. In SATCOM, we don't do that here. It has been very stressful and strainful trying to bring people and put people within SATCOM who are going to care about your interests and who are not going to try to take advantage of you. SATCOM is not about Eeon. Eeon is just the brains behind the idea, but he is not SATCOM. Please understand that SATCOM is an organization, a group of people, a foundation. I like to say a family. And we have been desperately trying to put together our nucleus, which has been the reason for some of the delays. Other delays have been caused by the states. But some of you are now having some problems filing your documents or filling out the affidavit. So we put up a video and we sent a copy of that video to each of you referring to the affidavit. Starting this week, you will be getting at least 3 emails a month letting you know of the progress of SATCOM and of the birth certificate process. Now, because there's so many of you, we may not be able to hit you up with a particular email regarding your particular situation, but we will give you an update as to what's going next, what's happening next. The other thing, ladies and gentlemen, that I must inform you is that we're going to help you get a CPN, C as in Charlie, P as in Paul, N as in Nancy number for the foreign corporation trust that is established in your name. I'm sorry. Let me correct that. I apologize. I misspoke. Not in your name, but in the name of the estate for which you are the grantor, the head dog, head honcho in charge of. Okay? We're going to get you your own federal foreign employer identification number, because your estate is foreign to the United States. That's why you're taking control of it. And you're placing it outside the United States, and by doing so and by associating a foreign EIN number different from the EIN that was associated by the people who set it up in the first place, i.e. separate entity. Technicality. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? A technicality that's good enough is a technicality. With the EIN, you're allowed to get what's called a CPN. A CPN is basically a social security number for a corporation. I cannot tell you what to do with that number. All I can tell you is that to get one from someone else will cost you anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000. Ladies and gentlemen, we're including that in the package as an extra added bonus, especially those of you who have been patient with us. We're including that as an extra added bonus. There is no addition being charged for that. But you'll have to do your research as to what to do with the CPN. Now, for those of you who are successful and know what to do with the CPN, SATCOM has been doing the following. We've been acquiring debt. We're a debt buyer. SATCOM is buying debt. And what we're going to do is we're going to help, because this is our mission, to relieve the public debt. So what do I mean by relieving the public debt? Well, we're buying up, we purchased $2.3 million 2 weeks ago, and I just gave authorization for SITCOM to purchase $1.6 million in debt. These are active accounts that we can work out an agreement with each one of the individuals who are the debtors, listed as debtors on the account. And what we're going to do is, once they pay us for our services in servicing their debt, which will be less than 10% of what they owe, because 10% is reasonable, isn't it? I assure you, it will be pennies on the dollar for them. What will happen is, we will, because we hold the note, we hold the debt, we will then write that debt off as being paid in full, so that they don't just have it on their account as being paid. It's paid in full, and we bring it up current so that they have it as a positive on their credit report. Now, again, we're buying debt, so we cannot do that for each of your accounts. But what we're going to do is, once we credit that account, we get to then attach your account to that account to give it, and no, don't worry about it, your information will not be transposed from one account to the next, so people won't know your information. But the people who elect to have this done, sorry, this will have to be at an extra servicing charge. Sorry, it's just the way it is. Adding trade lines to people's account is not a simple thing, nor is it an easy thing, nor is it a free thing. Okay? So, SATCOM is going to be adding trade lines to people's account. We'll be able to do so legally because we own the accounts. They are ours. So, by tomorrow, SATCOM will be, let's see, $3.9 million in debt. But we'll also have $3.9 million in accounts, okay, which will be considered a very much positive. So That's what SATCOM is doing for you. Now, we're not just stopping there. SATCOM has placed each and every one of these accounts inside its trust. Then we will take and we'll place it inside another trust. Then we'll take it and place it inside another trust to protect your assets. Remember, you are going to be given a QSIT number, and that is at no additional charge to you. You're not paying for that service, and you'll have to be patient because it is a process getting the QSIT numbers, and we first have to get the registration taken care of. We first have to get registered as a corporation, and that's what we're working on now. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to give you an update to let you know that we are actually working very hard to make sure everything falls into place. We have given you, those of you who were here at the beginning, we gave you the first affidavit, memorialization of birth certificate, and then we updated the affidavit and made it a power of attorney affidavit, and revocation and resignation and DBA. We added quite a few things to that affidavit, making it 7 in 1. Then, for those of you who have just come in, we created another affidavit. The affidavit, we believe, is a little bit more powerful because it says the information necessary, and we've sent that out to each one of you. That affidavit is not online. Some of you will take that affidavit and you'll give it to other people. We're not telling you can't do that. We're just saying we would appreciate it if you would respect us, because we took the time to provide it to you when you did not pay for that particular service. The affidavit is, pay attention please, the affidavit is done as a courtesy. It is not something we're required to do. All we're doing is registering your certificates and then securitizing that certificate. If you sent us a different affidavit, some people have sent us their authenticated affidavits as if that's going to do anything. We've accepted those. But if it does not substantially comply, and if it does not substantially protect your rights, we will not include it with the rest of our bundle. Why? Because one bad apple will spoil the whole bunch. We cannot allow one document to ruin it for everybody else. That's why we recommend everybody use the affidavit that we provide free of charge, because why? It has the essential elements and things in it that we feel are necessary and that the law requires. I was just helping somebody with an affidavit, and we were talking about the durable power of attorney for the state that she lives in. Our affidavit covers everything that's in that affidavit. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is just giving you an update about the age of majority and the registration of birth certificates through SATCOM. I hope it has provided you with some relief as to knowing where we are, what we're doing, and what all is included, because some people are not understanding that this is the SATPACK 1. SATPACK number 2 is we just file your birth certificate. We're going to give you the 98 series number, but we're not going to get you the CPN, and we're not going to get you certain other things because it's not included in that package. Okay? Well, no, I'm sorry. We don't get you the 98 series number. That's the thing. The 98 series numbers, we automatically take care of the person's CPN. So we don't do the CPN and 98 series number for the SATPACK number 1. That's why the difference in the price is so extreme, because it doesn't come with all those other perks. But I thought you said we're not paying for those other perks. You're right. But however, because we're throwing that in that package, and we're going to throw in other things, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're doing. Because you came in, because you had faith enough in SATCOM to help you with your situation, SATCOM is going to benefit you. That's what we're doing at SATCOM. So I just wanted to be able to get that information to all of you, and I hope that this has provided some understanding to some of your questions. Again, if you have any questions, you're going to send them to SATCOM. And what we're going to do is we're going to take those questions and we're going to provide answers to those questions in a sort of frequently asked question response email to each of you. That will not be placed on the internet, but it will be sent out to you all as a group. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for taking the time. And I want to thank you for your patience and your faith and your continual loyalty to SATCOM at satcom911.com. May all of you have a good day. Goodbye.